I'm still here with my host,
Lady B International.
Well, situation reports have actually been flying from left to right, every pole of the country, and we are actually going to be going first with a call from one of our situation room. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Where are you calling us from? What's the name and where are you calling us from? Hello? Sorry, probably you should call back because that should be a network issue or something. Let's call back. So going on with our reports coming in from the various polling units. And first only we had a report coming in saying that ballot boxes have been snatched. These are literally an unconfirmed news anyway. And we're looking at this situation to be what INEC and the security operatives will have to nip on the board before it becomes a full-blown escalation in the whole process, because we don't want a situation whereby ballot boxes are still being snatched in 2023. This should be something of the past, but we hope that the security operatives will quickly come into swift response into some of these issues.
Like you earlier said, that it's not a confirmed statement for now. We're still trying to confirm, but if it is true, I think the security personnel need to be held responsible, because I assume that in that particular polling unit all the world, we have a lot of security personnel and INEC staffs are there through. And if in 2023 we're still thinking of doing this, that means we're not ready to move forward. We're still thinking of going backward, and at this age it's not going to pay us, because I believe that everyone had come out to cast their vote is for a purpose. It's because they have a candidate which they believe they needed to vote for, because that has been the person they know that is going to turn their lives around and change situation for them. So if people are sitting there allowing such things to happen before their eyes, man, we are still backward.
As we earlier said, it's an unconfirmed report coming from the polling unit, and we also have amateur videos that have been coming in. So most of these videos are unconfirmed, but we hope that the security operatives will move swiftly at every nip and corner of this country, because we need a peaceful country to conduct this election, and we need a country before even we can have a place to govern.
I believe this is the time for us to get it right, because if we don't get it right this time around, it's going to be a crisis, and it will become a crisis that will burn us for a very long time. So I hope that everyone that is responsible, both the INEC officials, both the security personnel, everyone should work together to avert such situation around them.
I think we have a combined
forces, of different, paramilitary and whatever and all together.
Immigration, we have the FRSC, and we have the civil defense and all. So I think this should be a joint task between them all. And so moving on to River State, where we got a troubling story.
Really troubling.
It's a pattern in every local government. What is the news? The news is that most of them don't have the presidential voting materials. And we just want to hope our crew can just take you in, and you see one of the reports on this particular issue, where people, the electorates are crying out that they don't have presidential election materials. They only have the one for the
nationals,
and it's a very issue. Only the legislative angle of the presidential election, of the election materials are being produced for them, and the INEC officials are actually saying that they forgot
to bring the presidential materials.
So let's go to Crew now, where they bring you one of these set reports.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm at Rumowa Playground. It's a polling unit under Obiakpo local government in River State. You can see this crowd gathered here. Up to this moment, nothing is happening. Funny enough, the INEC officials that came here just informed us that they forgot to come along with the presidential ballot paper, that we should continue with the other ones. We are still waiting, Look at the crowd, We are still waiting, Nothing is happening at Rumowa Playground in Obiakpo local government. They said they forgot the ballot paper for the presidential election. So they want us to cast vote for only the House of Rep. But we are insisting that we are not going to do anything until we get the ballot paper for presidential election. The world should hear us. meaning Nigeria should hear us. International bodies should hear us. So something is really happening. We can't explain it.
If at this stage, particular section or people are being denied from casting their votes or doing their civic right because you don't want that particular person in your environment, it's sickening. It looks as if something terrible is happening, because I can't believe it that a whole community, because it's not even just that, other people have been calling from different wards and they've been telling us, okay, like now one ward from Kana local government, Ward 7, they called in and they said that place had been cancelled because materials were not available, and they saw that they were trying to manipulate the whole thing, and they had to insist that the total election be cancelled, because if they allow it, everything is going to be manipulated in the favor of the opposition, which they don't want. How long are we going to cope with this? How long are we going to continue with this kind of mentality? At this stage or a stage of our life, we should still be doing things that is not helpful to us.
And still on Canal local government, you remember that the caller said something very specific, that all the whole polling agents agreed unanimously and said they were going to cancel, and he signed, and they actually were still waiting for that report to come in that he was going to send in.
The one from his polling unit.
Yeah, it was being cancelled. And we are asking INEC a very, very serious question here. What happened? Why delay the presidential election materials to the polling units? Because it begs to question what exactly is going on. Or is there anyone who tries to manipulate this process? Are we trying to truncate democracy in this country, whereby most of these are first-time voters? What exactly are we passing on to them? What are we teaching them? What are you employing them to do in the next election? Because this is a process. This is something that everyone wants to participate in. This is a critical election whereby we have 4 candidates who are all major players in the political scene. And we don't want a situation whereby a section or a region is being disenfranchised from performing their civic rights. And still on River State, the unthinkable happened to the mayor of River State, Governor Yeson Wike, and his wife, where the Beavers did not actually accept for them to vote. And
no, maybe, sometimes beavers can malfunction when they discover that you are no longer that slim person you used to know. So maybe at the time he registered, he was a very slim person, and he has not chopped off to that.
I think Lady B is just trying to be sneaky on that. But we're looking
from another angle.
Yes, exactly. Because she's talking about the issue about image changing from aging. What governance does to you, it makes you age faster in some situation. Looking at the former president of America, talking about President Obama, you could see his picture fading out from a very young man who came into power to
becoming an old man.
And same will happen to our own darling Goodluck Jonathan.
Yeah.
He came in as a very young and vibrant
before you know it, the whole hair.
And the whole hair was great.
So probably that's what would have happened to Wiki and the wife.
Exactly. So what we are calling on the INEC officials in River State to do the needful and actually allow the electorates to perform their civic rights in those
it's very essential and important, because from other states we will not be getting this kind of report that presidential materials are not available, but except River State, which we are not going to take lightly.
And another troubling state is actually we are going to another presidential candidates on states talking about the APC
Lagos State,
and they are the ruling party, and you can see what is going on in Lagos. We have issues of violence in the cartel, whereby most electorates have been crying out that thugs has been roaming the streets, and we could see some other videos we cannot bring on air because of issues ranging from terrible violence, whereby we saw gunshots that are from verified videos anyway.
Even in Iba, we have the same report from Iba too, in Lagos State, where thugs are actually threatening them and whatever, and it's not been easy with them. They can't even come out to vote. And some people say they try to come out of their gate. They are asked, first of all, they will ask you, who are you voting for? If you tell them you are not voting for APC, automatically you are asked to go back. So if we want to continue, if we really want a democracy and what we are saying that we believe in, I think Buhari should be able to work on this and talk to his people, his party. Because if it was another party that was doing this, by now I know a lot of things would have gone ahead. But now we should look at this aspect critically, because one, I don't believe that in a party, I have my life, even husband and wife these days, you can choose a party you want to belong. We can't force you. You can't force me to vote for your own candidate, and I can't force you to vote for my own candidate. Absolutely. So if people now decide to come out, Emmas to vote for their own candidate. You can't prevent them. You can't stop them. Don't say because you are from that place or you are the one that is taking charge or that is doing the how will I put it now, that is calling the shots. Because of that, people won't do what they want to do. I don't think it's right for us now.
I will also call your attention to something that happened yesterday, right there at the press briefing with the joint task force of the military, the police, and other press people. You know, the INEC chairman, Professor Yakub, while briefing newsmen at the press conference, there was something that he said. He said they are all ready and set for this election. And while speaking, the IGP of police said emphatically that they have every corners of this country under secure lock and key. Now, what is going on? We are seeing Lagos already turning into a staged war whereby voter suppression has become a key thing in